It's Morning Talk on News Talk 1250 KBRF, brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. Now, here's Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop.
You know, there's sometimes I'm really happy that the cameras aren't on when they're on, or before I turn them on.
I am too, yeah. But I'm not always paying attention to what you're doing over there, so.
Oh, I love the intro, the guitar start, and I'm just like, so you're just air guitaring, and I'm going, oh, let me double check that I'm not streaming my air guitar.
I love your air guitar. I think you should be doing that. Well, maybe we'll save that for another day, right? That could be like a contest winning or something, you know. If everyone could see that, it's good. I gotta tell you, you gotta love Dave's air guitar.
I gotta love my mouse that's not working.
Oh dear. Well, I've got a full cup of coffee. That's really all I care about.
I was in that full cup of coffee mode earlier today.
It's my about second or third full cup of coffee though. So if I start racing off here, you know why. Oh, sometimes I find myself when I sit down and do one of our shifts, you know, I sit down and I feel like, oh my goodness, I am talking so fast. And I think it's after that third or fourth cup of coffee, maybe.
Okay, when I first started, well, not when I first started here. I was here for a couple of years. I was doing the midday. Well, actually, kind of the air shift I do now. But it was a lot more music intensive. And Charlie had, you know, the station on back by his desk so he could listen to me and, you know, give me some pointers. And I used to have this giant latte cup that I got in Green Bay, and that was my coffee cup. Basically, it held like half a pot. And one day, Charlie walks in, grabs it, and goes, "You've had enough coffee," and walks out with my coffee cup.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, I must be talking really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a fast talker to start off with.
I kind of am too, but do you find yourself some days, I just feel like I realize that myself, like I'm just running away with it.
Miles, sometimes if I get, you know, animated with Miles, he'll be like, no, calm down, slow down, quiet down, slow down. And then if I'm doing news in the morning, doing it live over on his station, he'll be like, slow down.
I know. You know what? That is the hardest thing to do. I always tell people, you know, if you have to like MC something or if you have to speak at an event, I always tell them to talk as slowly as is humanly possible, really. And do it in such a way that it almost sounds silly to you.
Yeah.
Not only is it a lot easier to understand out there from the people listening, but it will also kind of calm you and slow you down. And, you know, sometimes your heart gets racing when you have to get up in front of a crowd.
I always get so nervous. When
do you?
this.
Oh, I love it. I love talking in front of a crowd. Now, yeah.
It was funny though. Pastor Saul, he asked me, he goes, "Hey, would it be possible for you to, you know, do one of the verses and stuff?" I'm like, I'm really not that great speaking in front of people.
Oh, you are too.
And he's like, but you do it every day. I'm like, no, I sit in a room and talk to myself, or I talk to Mary in the other room. That's it.
It's true. It's very different.
It is highly different.
Yeah, it is. But I kind of get, and I can't say that I don't have butterflies, but I kind of like that. I enjoy, and once I'm going, I'm fine. And, you know, I have to say, I mean, there have been a couple of times where it hasn't gone as well as I'd hoped, but usually it's pretty easy, and it's talking, I mean, or reading. And I always have to tell myself then to slow down too. But anyway.
Yeah, I've got to slow down definitely when I'm like reading a script, and it's like, okay, for starters, I'm dyslexic, so that you mix that with nerves, and it's just
coffee and nerves, not a great combo. No. Well, there's some stories in the news that are pretty interesting today. There is a resurfaced clip of Representative Ilhan Omar, a member of the progressive, known as the Squad, as we call them.
Oh, Ilhan Omar, okay.
Ilhan.
Yep.
Yeah, what did I say?
Elon.
Okay.
Ilhan
Omar. Okay, I mispronounced her name.
From down the cities.
Yeah. Anyway, it sparked a frenzy on social media this week with conservatives blasting the Congresswoman over her comments regarding radicalization of white men. I thought that was interesting. So is that not racist?
That's highly racist.
Just wondering. And she went and said this: I would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country. This was at a 2018 interview, but I don't think she's learned very much since then.
No.
She was discussing the domestic terrorism threats in the United States and responding to a question on how much concern was posed to the United States. Anyway, she said that the biggest fear was white American men. So I don't know how you don't get in trouble for that kind of stuff, but I guess there was a bit of a firestorm that erupted.
She didn't get in trouble because the liberal media didn't cover it.
I guess that's...
If it was a white male congressman, that would have been, or especially if he was Republican, it would have been everywhere, and it would have been everywhere for months. Right, exactly.
And an illegally present Honduran national was nabbed by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE as we know it, those agents, after they said local authorities dropped a series of his charges, which included child abduction and home invasion. And they dropped the charges. So agents with ICE in Washington, D.C. arrested him. He's got a crazy last name. Final last name is Rodriguez. I can say that one. 26 years old. They arrested him in Fairfax, Virginia on May 2nd. Though the court saw fit to drop his most recent charges, Rodriguez has been convicted of numerous crimes in Virginia and represents a calamitous hazard to our Virginia residents, said ICE Enforcement and Removal Operations Field Officer. Anyway, so officials said charges include abduction of a person with intent to defile and burglary entering a house with intent to murder and rape.
And those are the things he's been convicted of.
And those are the things that got dropped.
Oh, they got dropped. Okay.
Every one of his convictions represents another one of our neighbors that Rodriguez has victimized. ICE Washington, D.C. will continue to prioritize public safety by arresting and removing criminal alien offenders from our Washington, D.C. and Virginia communities. Hear, hear. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so the Trump team stepped in and said, no, we're not going to drop these charges, and we're going to get rid of this. He's one of the bad guys, and he is out. So now there's something else going on with Homeland Security, and this just came out, or at least I just heard about it for the first time, maybe late yesterday or early today. The Department of Homeland Security is introducing a $1,000 stipend.
Oh, yeah. I heard about it yesterday.
Yes, as an incentive for undocumented immigrants to leave the country voluntarily. So if you are undocumented and you know it and you are fearful of being, deported, you can turn yourself in. They'll give you $1,000. They will handle some of your travel arrangements to get you back to your home country. And then you will have the opportunity to fill out the proper paperwork and come back to the United States and apply for citizenship and come back and do it legally. Now, if you are deported, you can't come back.
Yeah.
So this is a way for people that are here illegally but want to be U.S. citizens. And if you haven't already done that, well, I guess that's your fault. But now you can get $1,000 and some travel help to go back to your country and come back to the United States legally.
And they get that $1,000 when they check in their home country. So it's not like they get $1,000 to put them on a plane. They put them on a plane
when they get to their home country.
When they get to their home country and check in, they get the.
So what do you think about that?
From what I was listening to yesterday, they said that's actually a lot cheaper than all the rigmarole that they have to do to deport somebody.
When they deport someone, do you know what it costs? $17,000 per person.
Yeah, so if you give them
a lot of money.
Yeah.
And granted, these bad guys are not going to voluntarily go for $1,000. But some other people who are here illegally and are, hiding in their apartments because they're afraid they're going to get caught and deported, this is your way into the United States as a legal U.S. citizen.
Yep.
And they'll help you get back to your home country. Now, I suppose it depends on where they come from, if they can even go back safely. I don't know. I mean, there's lots of things that it's not as easy as I'm making it sound, I'm sure, for those people. But it's not a bad idea, and it's certainly going to cost a lot less than $17,000.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Is that already in place? Does it?
I think it is.
I think so, too.
I think it rolled out over the weekend.
Okay, the initiative aims to facilitate self-deportation, enabling individuals to return home with financial and travel support. The program offers the opportunity, as I mentioned, for future legal re-entry. So, but if you get deported, caught and deported, you are no longer welcome here.
Yeah.
So that's the deal there. I don't know. I think that's pretty interesting, and I think it's creative. I think it's a lot less expensive.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not such a bad idea. I wonder. It'll be fun to see how many people bite on this offer.
And it's, some of these countries, 1,000 U.S. cash can go a long ways.
Right. President Trump also announced plans to meet with U.S. film industry representatives to discuss imposing 100% tariffs on foreign-made films. He reassured that the goal was to support American jobs without harming the industry. The White House stated that the decision on tariffs was still under consideration.
Yeah, this one I got a lot of questions on, because a lot of American producers and stuff, they'll film in Australia, New Zealand, Canada.
Right. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, we talked about the fact that President Trump had talked about, actually, he was asked about toys and whether or not those were going to be more expensive. Well, some of the big toy makers are already making plans to manufacture in India and other countries that don't have these terrible tariffs. So people are already scrambling to do different things rather than making all this stuff in China.
Yeah. And as we're talking about the movies and such, I think Derek actually knows a little bit more about that tariff. So we're going to head to the newsroom.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, guys. One thing I just wanted to quick hop on here and say is just that with movies, a lot of times what a lot of film critics will see is movies that are shot on green screen, or just generally, like, it's hard to shoot on scene in America unless if it's in a city. So if you want to get if you want these large, for example, Lord of the Rings was shot primarily in New Zealand for its luscious countryside. Even if you wanted just one shot of that in your film, say there's a scene in your film that takes place in Mexico and you wanted to go to Mexico, all of a sudden there's a 100% tariff on it. I don't know if that's necessarily a great idea. And I think we're going to see, if that does come into place, I think we're going to see major increases in ticket prices, which have already been skyrocketing the last few years.
I don't know. I think we can, I don't know. I kind of feel like it's not that important to, get to another country and shoot that shot. I don't know. Go into the mangroves in Florida or something. I don't know. I don't know. Movie going? Is that high on the priority list?
Well, plus it's the 100% tariffs. I mean, I really don't see that really affecting it that much in those budgets. So I don't know why he's going to try.
What will that save?
Yeah, it's like, why put it in? I mean, why?
Well, and maybe we don't have any idea how many millions of dollars are going out of the country to shoot this stuff in these other countries. I don't know.
But it's one of the tariffs that when I heard about, I kind of rolled my eyes. I'm like, just let it go.
Yeah, I think there are other ones. I think there are other ones that are a little bit more important that we focus on. But I don't know.
I kind of hope this one doesn't go through. I think it's a colossal waste of everybody's time. The movie tariffs.
Yeah, I don't know. And I always think of all these knuckleheads in Hollywood. And if they have to sit on the sidelines for a while, oh well. I don't know. Maybe being.
It's I don't think it's a great idea.
No, and probably not. It's one of those things that maybe we don't have to focus on now. I guess that's maybe how I look at it.
There's a lot of other things President Trump needs to worry about than Hollywood tariffs or movie tariffs.
He must be laying awake at night wondering where else we can slap a tariff, I guess. Speaking of Trump and tariffs, the Trump administration is canceling NEA grants affecting a variety of arts groups nationwide. Emails notifying grant withdrawal were sent following Trump's proposal to eliminate the NEA. The new funding priorities emphasize projects aligning with President Trump's selected areas, leading to criticism, of course, from arts groups.
Mm-hmm.
This came from NPR, so you can imagine that they're not happy about it. How about this one? After being missing for over 60 years, here's a woman. Her name is Audrey Jean Backeberg. She was found in an out-of-state location. So a detective located her through Ancestry.com, and she confirmed that she just plain did not want to be found. So she meant to be missing for the last 60 years. I don't know how anyone can even do that anymore. The Sauk County Sheriff's Office concluded that her disappearance was her own choice, and she seemed content with her decision when contacted. But she is no longer
a missing person.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, okay, when we come back, what is the toughest job in America, and what are the happiest cities in the world?
Okay.
We're going to talk about both of those when we come back on Morning Talk.
Back with more Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. Brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. After the markets on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
What's the ox say?
Today on Hot Talk with the Ox, right away, the great Sam Sorbo, wife of movie star and Minnesota native Kevin Sorbo, joins us about homeschooling and Elon Musk. Then reactions to the DHS plan to pay illegals to leave. At 4:06, hear what wine Jeff has for us on the West Side Liquor Wine Line, followed by fellow Ox listeners' Wines of the Week. See you for Hot Talk with the Ox today from 2 to 5 on KBRF.
What's the ox say?
KBRF presents Where to Eat, the culinary adventure, sponsored by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food in Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Zach Daniels.
And I'm Dave Bishop, your guide to the region's culinary treasures.
Join us as we explore various restaurants, uncover delicious meals, and highlight each restaurant's signature dish.
Experience diverse cuisine types, unique atmospheres, and must-try dishes. Check it out on KBRFradio.com and the Fergus Now app.
New episodes air every first Friday of the month. Where to Eat, powered by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food of Fergus Falls. Hey there, local farmers. Tired of the hassle of processing and butchering your livestock? They've got you covered at Lake Cabin Meat and Deli Company, your trusted partner in meat processing. From custom cuts to expert butchering, they handle it all with care and precision. Whether it's beef, pork, or lamb, they deliver a quality you can count on. Serving Fergus Falls and the Lakes area, they're proud to support local farmers just like you. Call them today at Lake Cabin Meat and Deli Company, where quality meets tradition.
Keeping you company out on the lakes, the Minnesota Twins, and News Talk 1250 AM KBRF.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's Chris Atterbury. Join me alongside Dan Gladden as Pablo Lopez of the Twins welcome in former Twins minor leaguer Kate Povich, the left-handed starting pitcher, and the Baltimore Orioles for the first of three between the Twins and the Birds. 6 o'clock lineup card, 6:40 first pitch, all right here on your home for Twins baseball.
News Talk 1250 AM KBRF. Depend on it.
Unique farming operations need unique financial solutions. Egg Country Farm Credit Services offers customized financing that fits any size farm, ranch, or agribusiness. The next time you're in the market for more land, equipment, facilities, or maybe even an operating loan, contact the team at Egg Country. They know agriculture and will work for you. Egg Country. Focused on ag, focused on you. Egg Country is an equal opportunity lender.
Markets this hour brought to you by Ag Country Farm Credit Services, a customer-owned cooperative.
Good
Good morning. Market update on the Red River Farm Network. I'm Randy Conan. Grain markets continue to trade mixed. Corn on both sides, wheats both sides as well, depending on the class of wheat. Minneapolis wheat is the weakest here right now. Our trading analyst Ben Cash says there are many cross currents impacting these grains today.
Fed announcement tomorrow on interest rates. You had, OPEC's announcement over the weekend on up in crude oil. Now you got crude rallying today, kind of readjusting here going in to tomorrow's announcement. And then over on the grain front, we're dealing with some bearish weather fundamentals. I mean, we've seen some rain in the Central Plains. You got a more open forecast for the Midwest and Northern Plains now to get caught up, and that's why we're seeing some pressure on these new crop contracts. But going forward, we do have a crop report coming up next Monday, so there's going to be some repositioning ahead of that. We'll get the first look at the new crop carryout or S&D tables.
And the beat goes on in the cattle market.
Seen some new highs again this morning, backing off a little bit. Stock market's down slightly, so creating a little uncertainty here. We're definitely overbought. Cash trade has been still very solid. Inventory numbers still lean friendly. Uncertainty about Mexican feeder cattle imports is also supportive, but getting a little frothy here. So we are seeing a little pullback on the hogs, and that's kind of keeping the upside, it seems like, for the time being here this morning on the cattle limited right now.
Cash cattle market fairly quiet this morning as well. Just a few asking prices being noted in parts of the Southern Plains. Those are coming in at 221 live. Nothing established in the North's dressed business. Cutouts expected to be higher on light to moderate box movement. You're listening to the Red River Farm Network. Here's the latest from CHS Ag Services. CHS Ag Services Energy Specialist Justin Adams is with us. Justin, let's talk about the AFD program.
Our AFD program is a great program to take advantage of the guessing game and get as good a price as possible to take the guessing out of the volatility of the market. In today's market, it is shining because everybody knows that fuel is dropping coming into spring. Couple key points with the AFD monthly program: you do not have to pay for it until you use it, so that fuel can sit in your tank until you start using it. With AFD, one of the key benefits is you don't have to worry about your tanks running low. Our automated system makes sure that you will have the fuel when you need it, and it also helps to avoid running out on farm. We're also handling bulk DEF at a discounted price, available at many locations to be delivered directly to you.
CHS Ag Services, providing solutions for your success. Be listening for the Sugar Beet Report Thursdays at 12:50 on most of these Red River Farm Network stations. Each week, we'll talk with industry representatives, agronomists, and extension specialists and get the latest update on the sugar beet crop. The Sugar Beet Report, Thursdays at 12:50, right here on the Red River Farm Network. Brought to you by Amity Technology, Beta Seed, Spinaid from Belgium, USA, Vive Crop Protection, and Gowan Company.
Dedicated, dependable, and delivering the information you need. It's Don Wick.
The response from ag groups has been lukewarm at best.
Randy Conan.
The popularity of biofuels has helped create more demand for crops.
Jamie Dickerman.
Nitrogen prices continue to tick higher.
And Tyler Donaldson.
A weather system is set to move into the region beginning tomorrow.
Whether it's happening in the farm field or the halls of Congress, we deliver the information that impacts you and your business. We're the Red River Farm Network, and we're reporting agriculture's business.
July wheat Minneapolis down 3/4 of a penny, 608 3/4. Chicago July wheat 6 1/4 cents higher. Kansas City 4 1/4 higher at 537. July corn 2 higher, 456 1/4. December corn down a penny and a quarter, 441 1/2. July soybeans down 5, 1040 1/4. November soybeans down 2 3/4, 1019 1/2. July canola down $3.20 a metric ton, 698.50 Canadian. June live cattle up 12 cents, 213.77. August is up 27 cents. August feeder cattle now down 7 cents at 298.75. September is up 15 cents. June lean hogs down $1.10 at 97.90. July down 92 cents. This is the Red River Farm Network.
Age is more than just a number, it's a journey worth celebrating. Join News Talk 1250 KBRF for Celebrate Aging, presented by Pioneer Care on Wednesday, July 9th at the Bigwood Event Center in Fergus Falls. Discover resources, enjoy live entertainment, and connect with experts on healthy, happy aging. Whether you're attending or showcasing your services, this event is for you. Want to reserve a booth? Visit LaytonEvents.com today. Let's embrace the beauty of growing older together. See you on July 9th at the Bigwood Event Center. Presented by Fergus Falls Monument at ForeverStoneMemorials.com. Prior to 1949, the Army, Navy, Air Force each had their own days of recognition. President Truman wanted to establish a single holiday to thank all members of the military for their service to our country. That year, Secretary of Defense Lewis Johnson announced the creation of a new Armed Forces Day. During May, we honor all members of the American Armed Forces. Runestone Telecom would like to thank all area military members, past and present. Get connected to the world with Runestone Telecom.
Mark your calendar for Wednesday, May 7th. Rural Minnesota SEP Career Force is bringing Job Fest 2025 to Speece Riverfront Park in Fergus Falls from 2 to 5 p.m. Meet local employers, explore job opportunities, and take the next step in your career.
This is Ryan Welly with the Fergus Falls Monument Company. When you're thinking about a memorial for your loved one, I invite you to stop in and see our large selection of memorials on display. The memorial you choose is crafted for you right here locally with an everlasting warranty. That means it's perfect, now and forever, guaranteed. Call or stop into Fergus Falls Monument or visit us online at foreverstonememorials.com. Memorials that matter.
News Talk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place with the Fergus Now app on your phone. Checking the forecast as we hopefully get it to come up. Looking good today. Sunny, 75, 47 tonight's low, 70 sunny Wednesday, 74 sunny Thursday, 81 Friday. A little bit of rain possible Friday night. 76 Saturday, Mother's Day. Wow, 85. It's going to be hot. And then 85 on Monday as well. Right now, Fergus Falls currently sitting in at 64. It's Morning Talk on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Brought to you this morning and every morning by our good friends over at Pioneer Care and at Fergus Falls Monument.
85 degrees for Mother's Day.
85.
Holy smokes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess it's ice cream sundaes or something for Mom on Mother's Day, right?
Yeah.
Something cool, popsicles. I don't know, whatever you do on a hot day. Might be able to get in the water.
Yeah.
So do you have your dock and stuff in?
No, I don't even know the water on.
Okay.
I wanted to do that over the weekend. I just didn't have time.
Now, do you fish on the fishing opener?
Sometimes.
Okay.
I always call it amateur hour. I mean, we're on West Battle, and West Battle is a very touristy lake.
It's very packed with boats.
Very packed with boats on the fishing opener.
We're pretty packed, too.
I usually wait a week.
But I love it. I love to sit on the dock and watch all these boats out in the water. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I don't need to be out there, but I'm not much of a fisherman because I'm not crazy about the whole baiting thing, and I don't love to take the fish off. So then what do? Remember when my grandkids were too little to do that themselves? I remember I said, if you guys can't fish with corn, I can't help you. Because I'm sorry, I don't mean to be such a girly girl, but yuck, worms and leeches and minnows. I can't do it. Then you
get the slimy fish.
Yeah, I can't.
Especially if it's a small Slimer northern.
Yeah, that's true. I would actually rather hold the fish than the bait.
Okay.
But then I don't want to get spiked by the fish either or whatever. You know, you got to know what you're doing there. Yeah, I guess I'm not a fisherman. I'll just sit on the dock and watch everybody else do it. Or sometimes I go out in the boat with the boys, and sometimes I'll even drive the boat or drive the pontoon, and then they can, fish wherever they want. And then they just tell me where to go. And I like that.
That works.
I don't need to fish. I'll just be the driver. All right. What do you think is the happiest city in the world?
I was going to say San Francisco because they're all smoking weed. But
okay, but this is in the world now.
Oh, in the world. I'm going to say... I'm going to say Copenhagen.
How do you know this? You're right.
Is it right?
It is Copenhagen.
I just figured where are the most drugs done? And
I guess Copenhagen, Denmark for sure. Anyway, the happiest city in the world. So there you go. If you want to be happy, and I guess it depends on how you choose to get happy. But anyway, the organization looked at 82 indicators of joy, including the environment, the economy, health, and mobility. They don't say anything about drugs. Copenhagen ranks high due to its commitment to education, access to health care, and sustainability. Those are not things that I look for when I'm going on vacation or anything.
And
not looking for health care and sustainability. I'm just looking for a nice place to rest for a week.
And everybody's really rich because that's where Ozempic's from.
Exactly. Zurich came in second place, followed by Singapore.
Okay.
Now, I don't have any desire to go to Singapore, but a lot of people really, really enjoy traveling there. Hong Kong is another place that people love to go. The highest ranking American cities were New York, believe this or not, Minneapolis, which came in 17th and 30th, respectively. They might have meant Minneapolis about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's one of the best cities anymore. It sure used to be. It was a great city. Anyway, yeah. So those are the happiest cities in the world, and I would beg to differ on the Minneapolis one.
Yeah.
Maybe even New York now.
New York's crabby.
Well, they got a lot of reasons to be crabby. How about this one? What do you think is the toughest job in America?
Toughest job in America.
This one makes total sense.
Is the White House spokesman who's got to explain Trump.
For sure, I agree. White House spokesperson. Yeah, I would agree, but that's not it.
Oh,
it's a job.
Sanitation worker.
Firefighter.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
I would not disagree with that.
Yep. Americans believe that firefighters have the toughest job, and I agree with that. Not only do they fight fire and get, cats out of trees and all that kind of stuff, and so many more animals out of, ditches and wells and you name it, but they respond to not only fires, but they respond to accidents. They respond to so many different things. And
I'd definitely put law enforcement up there as well.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Anyway, construction workers, doctors, police officers, as you mentioned, astronauts, farmers, and air traffic controllers were also among the top 10 hardest professions. Maybe that's the reason that we have such a terrible time keeping air traffic controllers. Right now, they're telling people don't even fly into Newark, New Jersey. They said they have so few air traffic controllers, and it is nightmarish going in and out of Newark right now. And it's one of the busiest airports in the first place. And because of that, air traffic across the country has been, oh my goodness, just, handcuffed.
Well, plus when you get there, you're in New Jersey. So, I mean, you're already at a disadvantage.
But anyway, yeah, so air traffic controllers. And you know what else I'm reading about air traffic control is that their technology and the equipment they use, they said, is sorely outdated. Now, that does not give me very much peace as a traveler. Wouldn't you think that they would be, the first to be updated in terms of technology?
Well, it could be the same way they didn't really update anything on the space shuttle. They want things to work, and they want stuff that's reliable.
So if it's not broken, don't fix it?
Well, not really. You want to make sure it's tested and, tested again. I don't know how much.
They make it sound like it's really outdated, and that it seems frightening, or that it could be so much better. But I don't know. Maybe they're scrambling so hard just to get air traffic controllers trained. And I know right now they have an onslaught of people that they are currently training, but it takes a number of years for them to get fully trained. So it's not something that's fixed overnight. But let's see. Americans said their jobs were hard, and trade workers were more likely to rate their job as difficult. Just like any job, being a trade worker has its challenges, but in a world of shifting industries, the skilled trades remain as reliable and rewarding a path as anything. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's absolutely true. There's always a need for you, and you are marketable in any city. Let's see. When it comes to what trade workers want others to know about their work, one respondent wrote, it's an alternative choice for those, especially those that feel that they are not college bound or just plain don't want the expense or just don't want to go to college. They can still have a great life and a career and make some serious money too if that's
I was going to say a lot
you.
of those trades are very, very paid.
Just think of the last time you called, a plumber, an electrician, any of those guys. You don't get them for a while, and then they might make an appointment with you. They may or may not return your call. If you do get an appointment, they may or may not show up. I mean, it's kind of like these professions are so busy out there that
they can pick and choose.
I know, if oh, sorry, we didn't get to your house today. Sorry.
Well, it's the old joke. A doctor calls the plumber to fix his sink. The plumber comes in, fixes the sink, hands the doctor a bill, and says, "Man, I'm a doctor. I don't even make that much." And the plumber looks at the doctor, and goes, "Yeah, I didn't make that much as a doctor either."
So now he's a plumber.
Now he's a plumber.
Yeah, well, I guess that. Anyway, and I especially at this time of year, when kids are being pressured to know what they're going to do after they graduate from high school. Boy, I tell you what, those trades are a great option for a lot of kids and a great option for a lot of people who are deciding, I don't love what I'm doing, or maybe, your job, you lost your job for whatever reason. Boy, in a year or two, you can have a pretty darn good career again. Let's see what we have. There was a minor league game, a baseball game, that was delayed. And did you see this?
I heard about it.
And it was due to the ducks.
The duck delay.
That could happen around here, due to the geese, maybe. It was between the Springfield Cardinals and Northwest Arkansas Naturals. It was delayed when two ducks decided to wander casually around the field. Video footage of the duck delay shows one duck flying away on its own and the other one eventually waddling off when crew members opened an outfield gate. The birds appeared to be a bad omen for the Springfield team, which lost by 1 run. So it was the duck delay that
was the ducks
that caused the loss, I guess.
Now, too bad they didn't come back to win, and then they could have sold duck merchandise, little rubber duckies. It's the lucky duck. They could have, done all that stuff, but
I know.
They failed.
The delayed ducks. Speaking of weird things like that, and ducks not so weird, but did you see, there was footage of this, and I think it happened over the weekend, and I can't even remember where, but a kangaroo got loose and was hopping down the highway, and it did cause a couple of crashes. Nobody got hurt, thankfully, but if you can see the footage, it's pretty funny, and the cars are just driving all over the place, and of course, if you're driving down, it was like a 2-lane highway, you're driving down the highway, and all of a sudden, here comes a kangaroo, and it like jumped on the hood of cars, and it was just a crazy scene. And the owner ended up shooting it with like a tranquilizer dart, and then was able to, safely and it's fine and everything. But anyway, safely get it off the road. But had a heck of a time. But can you imagine driving down the road and having kangaroo jumping all over the place? Let's see. How about this one? The A Million Lives Book Festival. This happens in Baltimore, Maryland. It promised a magical romantic gathering of authors and writers. However, some attendees of the Fantasy Ball have posted disappointing videos, and of course, they've gone to TikTok with it. So they're wondering if this will be the next Fire Festival. And if you know anything about that, this guy sold all these expensive tickets, and then it basically was like little tents when you got there. There was nowhere to stay. There were no bathrooms. It was just, yeah. Anyway, I think he ended up, I don't know if he did time.
He was in jail.
Yeah. And it cost him a bunch. And now he's doing another one, evidently.
And that's already failed.
Oh, it already has?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, some authors claim they have lost thousands of dollars to participate in an event that featured long rows of gray tables and fake rose petals. That's all that was there. I guess that was the romantic part. Grace Willows of Archer Fantasy Events, who hosted the festival, has issued a statement promising refunds. I planned my pregnancy around this event like a clown, one disappointed attendee said on social media. Well, if you're planning your pregnancy around a festival. You maybe have bigger problems. But can you imagine? I mean, who do these people think they are? Plan these big, giant events, and then it's like a huge disappointment.
Yeah. Just ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't get it. Why they do that kind of stuff. Let's see if I can find you some trivia
Always
today.
love the trivia.
Okay. What is, let's see, where are they? What is the official state animal of Kansas?
What is the official state animal of Kansas? I would normally say the jayhawk. So I'm going to say jayhawk.
It's the bison. I would have gone with you at jayhawk.
Wow.
Yeah. What is the official state animal for Florida? Animal now.
Yeah, the easy one would be the alligator, but I don't think it is. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say manatee.
Oh, panther. Now that you wouldn't guess either, but they do have them.
Yeah, the Florida Panthers.
Yep.
So
Yep. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would have made sense if it had been the Kansas Jayhawks, since they are the Jayhawks, right?
Yeah, but bison.
I know. Yeah. Oh, today is both Teacher Appreciation Day and Nurse Appreciation Day.
Hey, appreciate a nurse.
Yeah. So those are two careers that are very important to the people and the kids that they serve. And so we say our hats are off to nurses and teachers today. Yeah.
Two other jobs that are hard.
There's a place called Smoothie King. They are celebrating Teacher Appreciation Week. This is a whole week, I guess. And educators that show their ID in store get a good deal on their order, 20% off, and they're going to take that through the rest of the week. Sonic, another place we don't have, but they are letting teachers enroll in the Sonic Teachers Circle Rewards program and score deals all week long. So,
okay. Well, there's a couple up in Fargo.
Yep, and Buffalo Wild Wings is up there too. They get 20%. All teachers now through May 11th get 20% off
there you go.
their tabs. So that's a good deal. Yeah. Let's see. What else is going on? Okay, so we've got fishing opener this weekend.
Yep.
Do you get together with anybody or anything like? I mean, it's not like the opening of a deer season.
No,
but for some people it is.
Yeah, we've got the most important thing is Mother's Day, and so we'll take Mom out for brunch, and then we'll take Jen golfing. That's why I was eye rolling with it. It's gonna be 85.
Oh,
it's gonna be a hot one. We're
Get
gonna
a
try.
cart.
Yeah, we're gonna try a different course. The boys have golfed. Jen and I haven't, so we'll go out there and then.
Where are you going to tell us where you're going to play?
I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
And then, we're hopefully getting out to the lake a little bit, just trying to get some stuff done out there. I've just been no time.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so that you just won some amazing husband points by saying, Mother's Day and son points.
Yeah.
For saying that Mother's Day comes first. So we don't really have too many plans except, have lunch with my mom probably and spend some time at the lake is kind of my plan for that. And, John's pretty busy. He doesn't do a ton of fishing, but this weekend is kind of that get together with the guys weekend, you know, and it's just tradition and it's the same group that kind of gathers every year. And so that's a lot of fun. He looks forward to that.
I really wish Mother's Day and fishing opener didn't sync up.
I know. I wish they didn't either.
Every once in a while, like once every decade, it doesn't.
Well,
for the most part,
once in a while, it seemed like it didn't always fall together. But I don't know who decided that should be the same weekend, but it doesn't work out very well for a lot of people. Unless mom loves to fish, then.
Yeah, my mom loves to fish.
Yeah?
So it was kind of always a good thing.
I love to be in the boat. So, if John wants to fish, and I'm more than happy to go. I'd be on the water all the time if I could. But anyway, so he does a lot of fishing. And I sit at the end of a dock with a book, and that'll be the celebration, I think.
Now, as we get into Mother's Day, I'm going to pose a question for tomorrow, and we'll have people text in their answers. We've discussed tipping a lot.
Yes.
And the question is, do you tip at a buffet? like an Easter buffet, Mother's Day buffet. Do you tip during those? I mean,
I think it depends do they bring you the drinks and do they keep refilling, that kind of thing? Maybe some kind of a tip. I don't know. That's a good one to think about. And how about some good ideas for Mother's Day gifts? Should we be thinking about that too?
Mother's Day gifts, and do you tip at a buffet? Well, 321-1926 if you want to text it in early so you don't forget about it, or we'll definitely be talking about that tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I'll reveal what I asked for Mother's Day. How's that? Very
Sounds
practical, very usable. And, you get practical when you get older.
Yeah.
All right. That's going to do it. Thanks for joining us on the show today. Our show today and every day brought to us by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Falls Monument Company. Have a great day.